Okay, Farah, now you share. Farah, you are the host.
Yes, sir, I'm sharing.
Please share the paper, Systematic Literature Review.
Yes, sir. Just 1 minute.
Or you can send me so that I can open.
So I have sent you on WhatsApp.
Okay, okay. You make me host.
Yes, sir, you are host now.
Okay. This is visible to all of you. Systematic Literature Review of Researchers and Healthcare Professionals. Attitude towards the secondary use and sharing of health administrative and clinical trial data. Is it meaningful to all of you? You will find this paper in your WhatsApp group also. A systematic literature review of researchers and healthcare professionals' attitude towards the secondary use and sharing of health administrative and clinical trial data was conducted using electronic data searching. Here, this part is very vital. That is electronic data searching. Eligible articles included those reporting qualitative or quantitative original research and published in English. No restrictions were placed on publication date, study design, or disease setting. 2 authors were involved in all stages of the review process. Conflicts were resolved by consensus. Data was extracted independently using a pre-plotted data extraction template. Quality and bias were assessed using the Quashist criteria for qualitative studies. 18 eligible articles were identified and articles were categorized into 4 key themes: barriers, facilitators, access, and ownership. I have taught you that is initially you have to find out the major theme. After that, you will study the sub-themes. So major themes are 4. Number 1, barriers. Second one, facilitators. third one access, fourth one ownership. And 14 sub-themes were identified. While respondents were generally supportive of data sharing, concerns were expressed about access to data, data storage infrastructure, and consent. Perceptions of data ownership and acknowledgement, trust, and policy frameworks influenced sharing practice, as did age, discipline, professional focus, and world region. Young researchers were less willing to share the data. They were willing to share in circumstances where they were acknowledged, while there is a general consensus that increased data sharing in health is beneficial to the wider scientific community. Substantial barriers remain. So this is the observation. So initially you have to write down the background. After the background, you have to introduce why do you think this particular issue. Next is the method. Method is very vital in systematic literature review. Next is the results. In the results, you will find the study quality, the themes. Now you have to discuss all the themes. I have told you that is you have to discuss all the major themes and the sub-themes. So this is the discussion of the theme. Also the sub-theme. Now they are following the flow chart. This is the flow chart. And this is the main issue of today's discussion. So here you can find out 4019 references imported for screening. And out of these, 68 duplicates are there. So they are removed. Then 3,951 studies screened against title and abstract. Out of that, again 27 duplicates and 300,684 is irrelevant. So 3,710 studies were excluded. 241 studies assessed for full text eligibility. So they have collected the full text. And 167 studies excluded. 47 is the review article, 27 biobanking, 22 genetics, 23 opinion pieces, 19 electronic health records, 11 incomplete Prospero systematic review, 10 personal health record, 2 not in English, 3 pediatric population, 2 PhD thesis, 1 government report, and 1 irrelevant. So these studies are excluded. Why they are excluded? The reason also given. Next is 73 studies eligible. And out of the 73, 5 is the systematic literature review, 1 is the duplicate results. So finally, 67 studies included, then 23 and 27. They are not getting the 27 studies. They have not received the consent, and 23 is due to the privacy, trust, and transparency. Therefore, they have selected only the 18 researcher and healthcare professionals. Okay. So finally, they have selected only the 18 papers from 4019 literatures. They have selected only the 18 papers. And you have to give the adequate justification. That is why you have excluded number of studies. So this is called the flow chart. This flow chart is vital, particularly for SLR. This is clear to all of you. Garam Singh, Kavita, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And after that, you have to discuss all the main themes with adequate references. And this is the literature review table. So here you can find out the included studies. So these 18 studies that have been included in this study. So description is there. So initially it is author, location, date of data collection. Next is methodology, sampling, analysis, health condition, setting, number of participants, participant demographic, key themes, that is also written. After that, outcome or results. All those things are there. So you have to do the same thing. For your literature review, report writing. So here you can find out the graphic themes, access and ownership. 6 articles are there, and these 6 articles are divided into what are the categories you have to mention. And there is another, that is barriers and facilitators. So these are the 2 key themes and sub-themes. So now I am going to the today's note on the flow chart. Now I am sharing the flow chart. A flowchart for a systematic literature review visually outlines the key steps researchers follow to gather, screen, select, and analyze relevant literature in a structured manner. Below is an overview of the major steps included in an SLR, which you can represent in a flowchart. You have seen the flowchart. Now, here you will find the description of flowchart. First one, define the research question. Identify a clear, specific research question. Set objectives for the review. For example, related to the 3D printing, you have to write down your objectives very clearly. Again, if you have any research question, that should be clearly defined. Develop a search strategy. Identify keywords, terms, database, define inclusion, exclusion criteria. Literature search. Search academic database like PubMed, Scopus, Google Scholar. Collect all potentially relevant studies and articles. Number 4 is the screening. Initial screening means remove duplicate. I have shown you that is how the duplicates have been removed. Exclude irrelevant studies based on title and abstract. Eligibility screening, read full text, exclude articles not meeting inclusion exclusion criteria. Number 5, quality assessment. Assess the quality and reliability of selected studies. Use established quality appraisal tool, for example, Prisma, Cochrane, etc. Data extraction. Extract relevant data from selected studies. Summarize data in table, methodology, findings, sample size, etc. Data synthesis. Synthesize extracted data. Identify trends, gaps, and patterns. Report findings. Present findings, interpretations, and conclusions. Address the research question. Discuss limitations and future research direction. Key elements of the flowchart. Start, end, blocks. So I have shown you that is how the initially authors have searched 4,000, more than 4,000 articles. That is the starting point. And at the ending point, there were only the 18 articles. Process block. Each step in the SLR from formulating the question to reporting the result. Decision block. Points where decisions are made, such as inclusion or exclusion of studies. Arrow flows. Connect different steps to indicate progression through the review process. So the different steps are there and the steps are connected by using the arrow. Example, here is a hypothetical flowchart for conducting systematic literature review. Start. Define the research question. Identify the key research question based on a specific psychological topic. For example, what are the effects of mindfulness on anxiety? Set objectives for the SLR. Understand different interventions. So you have to write down the research question and the objectives. Develop search strategy, identify relevant database like PubMed, PsycInfo, Google Scholar, formulate search terms like mindfulness, anxiety therapy, establish inclusion exclusion criteria, only peer-reviewed articles published in the last 10 years. Number 2, literature search. Conduct the search in identified database, retrieve all potential studies, so 300 articles. Number 3, initial screening, remove duplicate studies. For example, 50 duplicate articles you have removed. Screen titles and abstract for relevance. 100 irrelevant articles have been removed. Eligibility screening, read the full text of the remaining articles, that is 150 article, apply inclusion exclusion criteria, studies without a control group excluded. You have to think about what will be your inclusion and exclusion criteria. Final set of relevant articles selected, that is the 50 articles. Step 5, quality assessment. Assess the quality of selected studies using a predefined tool, for example, Prisma. Exclude low quality studies. So you have noted that is the 10 is the low quality articles that you have removed. Final set of high quality articles, that is 40 articles you have selected. Next is the data extraction. Extract key data from selected articles, for example, sample size, intervention details, outcomes. Organize data into summary table. Step 7, data synthesis. Combine and compare results across studies. Studies showing positive, neutral, or negative effects of mindfulness on anxiety. Identify trends and gaps. Mindfulness is effective in reducing anxiety, but only in short-term intervention. So this is the data synthesis. Step 8, report findings. Write up the findings, including a discussion, trends, inconsistency, and future research direction. End is the conclusion and future direction. This flowchart outlines the key stages of conducting an SLR, from defining the research question to reporting the final findings. Each step is linked to decision point, inclusion and exclusion criteria. So this is the flowchart. So now I think it is clear to you, that is why the flowchart is important, because in flowchart you are repeatedly searching your relevant materials as per your objectives, number 1. And number 2, you are repeatedly remove several literatures due to duplicate, due to insufficient information, due to inconsistency. So you are removing the articles. So what are the underlying reasons and how many articles you have removed? All those information should be in the flowchart. Okay.
Sir.
This is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question, sir.
You have question? Yeah,
Sir.
definitely. Please tell me.
Sir, in future research section, how can I predict the future direction of research? Sir?
Because when you find out the gap, some of the gaps in the literature review, Based upon that, you can suggest that future research direction will be on this particular area because there is a gap.
Sir, here you give an example. If it is describe it very understanding, sir.
For example, in Dharam Singh paper, 3D printing is the major issue. Amit's paper also 3D printing. So one of the major issue that is when you want to teach the 3D printing to the maybe the suburban people or the rural people, they do not have that type of access. So how do you teach them this 3D printing? Maybe that will be the future research.
Sir, they conduct the
Just now
study.
it comes to my mind. Maybe there will be something more. I have no idea. Just now it comes to my mind. Yes, Kavita, are you telling something?
Sir, they conduct the research in medical field. Medical field mainly urban oriented.
Not necessary. Not necessary. So they have to think. That is when they will try to educate the students in the suburban area. Okay. The suburban area, maybe the college or that institution may not have that type of infrastructure. So in that condition, how do they teach the 3D model? 3D model can be taught by drawing. So my point is that so they may think about that is in near future some studies will be made which is non-computerized. This idea comes to my mind that may be possible or not possible. I cannot tell you. So that is the literature gap. Most of the studies were conducted in West and very few studies in India. So Indian researchers should be motivated to study on this issue.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Dharam Singh.
Sir, in article you have shown they have written, sir, they have assessed the quality of articles. Some are high quality and low quality.
Yeah,
So how to decide which one is low quality among the selected articles? Like
it depends upon your weightage.
we can make our own criteria.
You can make your own criteria, number one, and there is a standard criteria. That is, if the paper has been published in Web of Science or Scopus Journal,
Okay.
so there you can give the high weightage.
So, sir, first we write the delimitation.
Delimitation, yeah, delimitation you can make initially. That is possible. You can do the delimitation initially. This is important for inclusion-exclusion criteria. Is it clear? Weightage is very important. For example, you have given more weightage, wherein you will get the full text article. You have given more weightage when it has been published by any journal of Scopus index, Web of Science. PubMed. Science Direct. It depends upon you. You can multiply the number of literature with your corresponding weightage. And after that, you can find out the index.
Okay, sir.
The multiply means, sir?
Because weightage will be multiplied by the number of articles. Then automatically we'll find the index.
Sir, in these articles, there are 18, at last 18 articles are taken. Then multiply means 18 into 18, sir.
No. 18 articles.
Last
Some of the articles are available in Web of Science, and maybe the articles which are available in Web of Science. So when it is Web of Science, you are giving importance on point 5. Okay. And when it has been published in Scopus, then you are giving importance on point 6. Like that, you can give some assignment or give some weightage. Or you can make the weightage in such a manner so that the total weightage will be 100.
That depend on impact factor journal, sir.
Impact factor, yes. If the impact factor is very high, then you have to give more weightage. The gray literature may get the less weightage. They may get the 10.
In the methodology section, I written it, sir.
Yeah, you can write down. That is, this is the weightage that I have assigned. And based upon that, this is the weightage, total weightage is.
Sir, one more thing, sir. In this article, the sub-theme is barriers facilitators. There is also some citation. Oh, this citation is mainly articles related, sir. Their number is given 20,
Yeah,
20.
definitely.
Oh, I may mention also my reporting section. Which articles it indicates.
You have to describe the contents of the literature based upon your objectives. You have set your objectives, so based upon that, you have to write down. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
The flowchart issue. Okay. Okay. So now I am closing the session.